Today we're going to build a wooden cutting board shaped like a pig. Let's get going. I begin by printing off and cutting out a picture of the shape that I want to replicate. I then use some hot glue to attach it to a piece of MDF that will be my router template guide. Once the glue has cooled, I use my scroll saw to cut out the template on the MDF. I will be using a single piece of hard maple for my cutting board. I run it through the planer until it gets to 3/4 of an inch thick. I trace an outline of my template onto the piece of maple and use the bandsaw to cut as close to the line as possible. Removing this material will make the routing work easier and safer later on. Now I'm going to glue my template to the piece of hard maple. And then I glue the face of the template to a riser block. This is to raise up my piece so that the router bit does not hit the workbench while routing. I have also hot glued the riser block to a longer piece that I can clamp to my workbench without interfering with the router movement. Now that the pieces are securely fastened, I use a flush trim bit with a bottom bearing to route out the shape. Time to scrape off all the glue and start sanding. To sand the curved edges, I attach my handheld oscillating spindle sander to my workbench. Works great for all those tight curves. For the flat surfaces, I use my random orbit sander working through the grits. Then I put a round over along the edges. I want to add a hole so that this cutting board can be hung up on a hook. I mark a spot where I want it to go, and then I head to the drill press. I touch up the sanding, and then I want to pop the grain with some water. Spray it on there, let it dry, and then I'll hit it again with a 220 grit. For the finish, I'm going to be using a mineral oil and wax combination. I liberally apply it, let it dry, then I'll come back, wipe off the excess, do some light sanding with a 400 grit sandpaper, and then repeat that process. Okay, so I've repeated the process of applying mineral oil and wax. Then I'll sand with 400 grit in between a couple times. Alright, there it is. All ready for the kitchen. Thanks for watching.